Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Well, good morning, children. How are you? The old captain once again did not shower or bathe yet. Just fresh out of the bed, got my coffee, and my coffee makes me poop mug. We're ready to go. It's Friday, but to the old Capmeister, there's no more days. It's just, it should be all called day. It's not Thursday or Saturday or weekend or weekday. It's day, because every day Cappy has off. Because the captain learned a lesson about his education. Captain learned, it's not what you major in, it's what you do with it. Have you guys been told that before? Typically from the left. I'm going to talk to you why your education has no value. And you think I'm going to slam on liberal art majors and humanities. I'm not. I'm going to slam on all degrees and make a very important point, but then also debunk this myth or this belief that somehow when you get a degree, that is an achievement unto itself. And for an increasing number of people, it's the only achievement they have, that they think the degree has value unto itself. So, what spurred this, I don't know if you remember the hashtag quite some time ago, was women were getting excited with a hashtag called Women with Degrees. And I think it was coming up on May or June, whenever everyone was graduating from college, and it was hashtag Women with Degrees. So all these girls, women, they had their robes and their graduation pictures done, and then there'd be a little excerpt or saying a comment in with their picture like, just got my degree in X, and now on to Y. And Y typically was getting my master's degree in the same thing I got beforehand, or law school, as in why bother, because it was a worthless degree. But still, there were a couple gals that had, degree in accounting, a degree in engineering, and okay, good to go. But there seems to be this misunderstanding or confusion about what the point and purpose of a degree is, because if you looked at that, the vast majority of people in that hashtag thought the degree had value. They're so, I got my degree. I have my degree. And I remember when I was younger, people telling me that, well, I have a degree. I remember one saying, I have a degree, I'm smart. When I was in a political discussion with her, and she said, I have a degree, I'm smart. And even the captain wasn't aware to say, well, that doesn't mean anything. But the point is that there seems to be this belief in this falsehood that a degree has value unto itself. That when you get your degree, well, that has value. That so much emphasis is put on your education that is achievement unto itself. And it is not. It is not. It's like having a positive current without a negative current. It's like having vanilla ice cream without Hershey's chocolate syrup. It is worthless. It has no value unless you do something with it. And what I'm trying to point out so that a lot of you understand the trap or the mistake you're about to make is that if you go into education, high school, which is free, K through senior year is free. It's like a heroin dealer. They give you a lot of free shots of heroin. Okay, but if you want college, you want the real experience, well, that's going to cost you, and in some cases, your life. And I think what channels people into this false belief is that from 5 years old, you're 5, you barely know what's going on. You like chocolate and you like to play outside, you want to pull Susie Jones' hair. Okay, well, that's 5. From 5 to 25, for a lot of you, if you go to grad school, you've known nothing else. Your job, your entire life has been school. And you think good grades is good, and then they are. Again, I know it sounds like I'm slamming on education. I'm not. I'm trying to get you guys to think differently. But all you have known your entire life, your entire conscious life, maybe you had a bit of freedom from 3 and 4 years old, like, hey, this is cool. I just get food from this tall person here. This tall person spanks me if I don't do what they tell. All right, I got the rules. I'll do this. But I can do whatever I want. This is great. Don't even know what money is. It's just great. But after that 2 years of brief happiness, from 5 until now, Your job has been school, and it is good if you get good grades, and it's good if you get more education. My gosh, people are really, and your teachers are smart, and your professors are smart. Not even introducing teachers or professors, and what? What are you studying? Wow, English. It's pretty easy because we've always studied it, and I know it. Calculus, blah. Chemistry, blah. Physics, blah. I are smart. I have a 4.0, majoring in literature. I read a lot. No, you can't do that at the library for free. If it's different for me. So, this being all you know, this being the echo chamber, the cocoon, this isolated, the Truman Show, truly is a Truman Show environment. That's all you know what to do is good. That's all you've been challenged. All you've had in your life is your degree. High school, we're finally free. College, I love it. I love it when kids, they graduate from high school and they get to college, they're like, we're finally free, man. No, you're not. Now the real slavery begins because now it costs you money. Before the taxpayers were paying for it, now you're paying for it. And you're paying an egregious price for that tuition. But you're in the same echo chamber, except now you're professors. You go maybe to a different room. You're not staying at home, even though mom and dad are probably still paying for you. You get to party, yay, you get to drink booze, because none of you did that in high school, soon to become Supreme Court nominees. Be careful. It isn't, college is merely high school version 2.0, except now you pay for it. But still, the point is you have to go to class, you must get indoctrinated and brainwashed in leftist politics, maybe you actually learn something about your favorite topic that you'd like to major in, and then you finally graduate with your degree. And after the end of this long achievement, that is all you have as a young man or woman. It is all you have is your education. And you celebrate it, and I'm here to tell you, terribly sorry, let me take this, think about it. Your education means nothing. Nothing. Because once again, like vanilla ice cream without Hershey's syrup, without a sex partner, it's merely masturbation. Without a destination, and there is no road trip, you have no value with your degree unless you do something with it. Now, this then brings about the point, well, doesn't matter what your degree is, it matters what you do with it. You're right. Out of, everyone knows that I go the route, say, hey, it's really important when you major in because that's going to help determine how much money you make. But it doesn't mean that if you major in a worthless subject, English, liberal arts, humanities, women's studies, any hyphenated American studies, that you can't go on and do great things. But that's a very small statistical minority. That's like 1 in 1,000. The vast majority of you with these worthless degrees are not going to achieve anything with them. And all you're going to do is point to this degree that you got, your education. That's going to be the biggest accomplishment of your life, which is a non-accomplishment. Because why did you go to school for all that time? To become well-rounded? You could have done that for free going to the library, taking in some interesting political or philosophical podcasts. You could have done that for free reading or listening to podcasts on philosophy and things like that. What the heck did you go to school for all those years if you weren't going to do anything with it? So whether it's an accounting degree, liberal arts, it's a very common one, not very common, but people who, I want to become an accountant, they go major in accounting, and they graduate from accounting, they get their first job in accounting, oh my god, accounting's boring. You're like, who knew that? Accounting would be boring. I didn't know. Really? I thought it'd be all unicorn farts and puppies. Well, they gotta go back and major something different. Sometimes a lot of them become teachers. Just love teaching. Yeah, I love working 9 months a year too and having health care and everything paid for. We bitch and whine about how much we're not paid, even though it's like, effectively around 60 grand a year if you prorate it. Anyway, the point is that it does matter what you do with it. It's not your parents and the taxpayers invested well over millions of dollars into your ed. Well, is it $1 million? 10,000? No. And it's not $1 million. Some of them are, but you're looking at $250,000 worth of education invested in you from the ages of 5 to 22. Maybe society, your parents, not to mention yourself, you'd like some of that back, and forget the amount of money invested. What about your youth? You wasted your entire youth in this education. Right? And the operative there is wasted. Did you waste or did you invest? Because if you wasted it, you're not going to use that education, which is about 2/3 of the American population, 2/3 of the Western civilization population, because you majored worthless, easy stuff. 1/3 of you actually invested that time and effort and energies, and then take that education and actually go and do something with it. And by do something, keep in mind, I do mean financial compensation. Don't give me this, it's not all about the money, because I can immediately respond to that. Well, then if it's not about the money, why did you pay so much for your college education? Also, when there was a completely free educational opportunity, if it wasn't for the money, then you don't need your degree, you didn't need your certification, you could have just gone online or gone to the library and studied women's studies. You could have studied philosophy, you could have studied English, you could have studied literature, you could have studied sociology, you could have studied it all for free at the library and have the exact same employment prospects that you did before. So don't tell me it's not all about the money. Why did you go to college then? Again, I'll return the question. I answered your question. I'm returning the question. Why did you waste your money and time at college? Why? And so you see, if you're intellectually honest, now here's the problem. Out of the 2/3 of people that waste their time in college majoring in stupid stuff, I'd say 95% of those people don't have the intellectual strength or independent mindedness to look back and critically analyze themselves and say, yeah, I wasted my time. This was a mistake. Because all you have in life is that education. That's all you've been programmed and brainwashed to have. Now, if you're a strong, truly independent-minded person, you'll get pissed off. Not necessarily at yourself. You should own some culpability there. But you'll get pissed off at your teachers and your parents and your guidance counselors and the media who all lied to you about follow your heart and the money will follow. Any degree is a good degree. You got to go to college. Because I'm actually your friend. I'm the only one. I'm the only truth teller here. Everyone else is a soothsayer lying to you. You gotta go to colleges, teachers. But vast majority aren't going to believe that. You're gonna because that's all you got. That it's crippling. It's sad. It's depressing when you realize that your entire youth has been wasted learning something that you're not going to use, was completely pointless and useless, had a completely cheaper alternative for you to just drop out of high school. I mean, you didn't even have to go to high school. You could just teach all this stuff at home if you wanted to online. There are even online high schools. You can avoid that pain in the ass thing called high school. And that your future then is not as rosy and happy and cheery and googly poo as your teachers, parents, guidance counselors, and media lied to you about. Not maliciously in your parents' case, but a lot of times they do lie. And so you're going to strike back. You're going to say, no, you're going to be like a little petulant little child crying and stamping your feet. My degree in women's studies is finished. Welcome to the real world. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, you have a decision to make. You can continue believing the lie, or you can actually exercise some truly independent-minded thought. Sit down and think through, go into your soul, which deep down inside you know, yeah, this is a bullshit degree. It does matter what I majored in. It does matter what I do with my degree. Am I just going to have cake? Or am I going to have cake with icing on top of it? Am I going to have a positive current and no negative current, therefore no electricity? For you liberal arts majors, that won't make any sense. Am I going to have a bike without wheels? Am I going to have a car without a destination? Am I going to have sex without a person involved? That's the question facing you now. And I won't lie, you have had your youth wasted more or less by people that control you. You have been used. Conspiracy. Just conspiracy. I'm not the one asking you for $250,000 to sign your student loans away and give it to me. You have enriched the teacher educational class, the education industry. Really, you're paying $300. Heck, UW-Madison, some asshole professor's charging $1,000 for his book. And you think I'm conspiratorial when I say this is a money-making operation off the children? You think the education industry isn't licking their chops when they see a little 5-year-old kindergartner come in? Oh my God, special education and we need special school activities. We need extra this and extra that, daytime activities, nighttime activities. Then you go to college and you guys are willing to fork over $300 a credit, $1,000 a book. You've been used. You get pissed off at me. I'm the messenger simply telling you the truth, introducing reality for the first time to you, telling you that there is no value, no intrinsic value unto your degree. It's now that college, think of this. Okay, this is what's happened. You're this nice, sweet, innocent little church girl, and you saw Biff. Biff is really good looking. Biff plays football on the college soccer team or whatever, football team. And Biff is with Sigma Rep. He is a hot fraternity dude, bro. And daddy bought him a fancy car, and the Lord says not to, but Biff gets you over to his place, and you decide, well, I'll just have sex with him once. And you have sex with Biff, and it's wonderful, it's amazing, it's everything that you thought it would be, and you gave up your virginity to Biff. And then Biff is, after that, he gets you an Uber, sends you back home, and he never calls you again. And you call Biff, he doesn't, he refuses, he used you. He used you and threw you away. What do you think the education industry did with you? They got your money. Oh yeah, by the way, here's your piece of paper that says, yeah, you did these things and you're certified to go and complain about white people or males or discrimination. You're really good at that. There you go, there's your degree. And they left you. They were your best friend for a moment there, and it cost you a lot of money. It cost you a lot in terms of your youth and innocence. And now you're dumped in the river. You were used. You were freaking used. Now, do you want to admit that, or do you want to waste your time lying to yourself thinking that Biff was just misled or that you could have been possibly duped by Biff? The education industry completely used you. Brainwashed you even. Now you don't have it. Not only do you have a worthless degree and no employment prospects of it, cake without icing, ice cream without Hershey syrup, you're incapable. You're so brainwashed. And I hate to bring politics into it, but this is true. You've been brainwashed and indoctrinated with leftist political thought, where now you're entitled to everything. Never mind, you never thought through, well, who's going to produce stuff if everybody's, come on, think about it. You're a third dead. You've lived a third of your life. Isn't it interesting you never paid for anything? So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to work a third of your life till 65 as some nonprofit assistant reserve vice deputy diversity director on a government grant for $30,000 a year? When do you make enough money to pay for everything? Have you thought about this in terms of feasibility of socialist politics, socialist economics you've been taught? What point I'm trying to make is now that you have this indoctrination, nobody wants to hire you. You're not even capable of taking your lumps saying, yeah, I screwed up, now I gotta go. Oh god dang, man, I gotta work off my student loan debt. You immediately go run to the government, yeah, I need the government to bail me out. And if you look at institutions, what we call communities or groups of people that look for government to bail them out, how successful are they? You got your three places you can go: your trailer park, your barrio, or your ghetto. Look at how successful those three groups of people are, living off of government cheese. Constantly begging for government handouts. Or, may I point out, look at your women's studies professors, look how happy they are. And they're doing well. If they're professors, they're doing well. But then you can read the article by The Guardian about how some professors, adjunct faculty, having to resort to prostitution and living in their cars now. So you're condemned because the ideology, this virus, this mental virus, that your professors and indoctrinators installed in your brain, you're not even capable of getting out. Your pride and ego will prevent you from ever solving a solution and actually going and doing something good with your degree, going and doing something productive. So now that you're here, now you graduated, have you noticed the support has gone away? Have you noticed now there's no more money coming in from government grants, these student loans? Have you noticed how Biff has thrown you to the side and isn't returning your calls? What's your degree worth? What are you going to do with your degree? And once again, whether you like to or not, deep down inside, you know that your degree has absolutely no value whatsoever. All degrees, it's just those that went into something that had a skill at the end of it, a trade, engineering, geology, medicine, accounting, one might even argue law, because there is a functional, practical job at the end of it, but the law market is flooded. I won't bore you with the economics because you won't listen anyway. Those people now go on. The remaining 2/3 or 3/4 of their lives have point and purpose and function. You, the 2/3 of you college graduates with worthless degrees, there is no next step. This was it. Sadly for a lot of you, this will be your peak accomplishment in life. Preparing for nothing. Prepare, educate, master's degrees, doctorates, nothing. And now all you can do is now go back to the system that you've only ever known, and that is become part of the education industry and reteach the same worthless slop to future suckers, to future victims. That's all you're going to do. Because you don't go back and learn something hard. You're not going to go become a truck driver or go work in the Bakken oil field. I take work. I take labor. And that'd be admitting you wasted your entire 5 to 25 years of age in that fucking prison camp called school. It's only a truly strong intellect that will admit they got hoodwinked. I'll admit right now, it's not that you made a mistake. You're a little bit culpable, I'll grant that. A lot of people point to the millennial generation and say, look at those idiots. Well, you got to understand, they were raised by idiots. They didn't just form in a vacuum, all right? The question is, now that you've wasted the first third of your life, certainly the majority of your youth, do you want to waste the rest of your youth? Do you want to waste the rest of your life? Do you want to do something productive? And yeah, unfortunately, you are going to have to go back to school. And it doesn't have to be college. It could be trade school. You could go work in the Bakken oil field. I got a guy who's hiring. It's not going to be fun stuff. It's going to be real work. Carpentry, assistant carpentry, general laborer. You go the military. There's other options you have. But I'll tell you this. Until you realize that your education has no intrinsic value, it has no value, your life is not going to have any value. You will not be able to move on from this point. You will not say, oh my gosh, I need to come up with a skill or a trade, least of all which so you can pay off your student loans for that worthless degree you got. And then move on and maybe save up some money for a down payment. I mean, you got to make up for lost time. You know, if you did want to have a family, if you did want to, have a house, you have to go like this. Before I end the life, you go like this. You graduate from high school, you make money, you get a house. And then you guys voted for socialism. Again, I'm not going to go into the boring economics of it. You can look up economic history and see just how much has been implemented that your socialist professors told you. What hasn't been implemented yet. This is the incline of the hill you get to go up now. And it's a daunting, I want to go up that incline. You ain't got a choice. You ain't got a choice. Because I know this is difficult. You going back to college majoring in worthless crap, that's the incline. Lazy people work twice as hard. I'm telling you that now. So, to help you out with this, do this. Get this book. Read this. Don't tell me you don't want to read it. Don't tell me you hate my guts. Don't tell me that I'm not right. I am right. I am your best friend, and it's sad when I am your best friend simply because I'm the one telling you the truth. It is a short book. I think it's $12.95. It's $7-something on Kindle. If you get this book Worthless, and you go through it and you read it, it will give you your educational options to not goof up a second time. And, God, nowadays you can go up to school online, accredited programs, cheaper. It won't be the college experience. Oh my God, I didn't party, I didn't protest. Yeah, because that can put that on your resume. I partied and I protested. Give me a job. I want to be the Assistant Reserve HR Diversity Assistant Deputy Director. Because I like the children and I care about people and want to change lives. Do not waste any more time than what your teacher, guidance counselors, and your parents have made you waste now. And because now it's on you. Now you know. Now you know. You don't have the excuse of my parents misled me. Nope. Don't got time for that. Too much value. Your life is too valuable. Your entire life is now contingent on you waking up and now making decisions in the real world. And so, anyway, that's why your degree has no value, right? And by extension, until you start producing something of value for society that it wants, not that it's forced to pay for, social workers, teachers, until you become, I don't care what, you could be a father, a mother, you're an accountant, a tradesman, a plumber, something, you will have no value. And you will waste your life. You will waste your life. You will be a nothing. You'll be one of the tens. I mean, here's another. I'll mention this, then I'll go. You know why that NPC meme hurts so much? Because it's true. Most of you people who where your politics is the number one thing you have in life means you have no value. You didn't earn anything to espouse leftist politics. That's not a challenge. Oh, I advocate taking other people's money to give it to those less fortunate. You know, that was Robin Hood. That's like hundreds, maybe 1,000 years old. Right? And you didn't earn anything. You didn't work to do it. I don't want to take his money and give it to that guy. You didn't do anything. You just did what was popular. And that means you didn't think, that you didn't do anything. You're an NPC meme. Right? Do you want to go through the rest of your life like an NPC meme? Do you want to be like the literally tens of millions of boring cookie-cutter mass-produced liberal arts majors who just vote Democrat? Do you want to be that common? Do you want to be that boring? Do you want to be that worthless? Because that's what you'll be. You won't be notable. You will not achieve anything. I mean, I made so-and-so get elected. Good. You made that guy, that gal got elected. You wasted your entire life knocking on doors. Good for you. Did you have fun? Did you start a family? Did you pick up a skill? Did you climb a mountain? No. You sat there, you got fat, and you protested. Good for you. Great. I mean, you want to talk about cheap, just look at a protest. Like, wow, millions of you or hundreds of thousands of you showed up to yell. Good for you. I'm sure that only wasted an entire afternoon, which is precious. An afternoon of free time is precious. Precious. So, that's my olive branch. Maybe a little bit of salt, but you guys need a little bit of salt with your olives. Or your olive branch. Never mind, not olives. Maybe there's olives on the olive branch. I don't know. But that's the first real dose of reality anyone's given you since you were 5 years old. So, can you get that book worthless? If you don't want to go back to school, may I recommend Reconnaissance Man. That's another one you could consider. But, there's the fork of the road, ladies and gentlemen. You have your worthless degree. Are you going to do something with it? Or are you going to go and say, just point to your degree as the only thing that has value in life? In which case, you go that way, you won't achieve anything. You'll be a nothing. You'll be a nobody, and you will die into obscurity, and nobody will remember you. You will leave no legacy, and the universe will continue on. All right, that's it. And on that happy note, toodles.